Okay, it's a little after 8 p.m. on November 23rd, 2019. Welcome to the weather update. Uh, Unfortunately, it clouded up relatively quickly today. We're going to actually just take a look at the MODIS satellite for a moment to show you that it did cloud up fairly quickly. Unfortunately, we didn't really get into any clear skies today, so let's take a look at that. You'll see the Cirrus was rolling in on us already here. You can see it over us this morning. And like I said, we didn't really get any clear skies. And now it's overcast, completely overcast, and we have rain moving into the area. And that's because we have yet another storm approaching. So let's take a look and see what's going on with the radar, because we already have rain moving into the area. Probably within the next hour or so, it's going to start raining. Must be a glitch there. I don't know why that last frame is missing, but you can see next hour or so, it's going to start raining. The rain is already over New Jersey and Pennsylvania, moving into our area. More rain on the way for us, unfortunately. So let's take a look at the models and see what's going to be happening with this system, and then we'll look at the longer range. We'll first start off with this system, though. So we're going to first start off looking at the NAM 12 kilometer, so we can get an idea of this system. It's a little, maybe just a little bit slow with the rain, because it's already looks more like this. So it's an hour or so off. I mean, it's not a tremendous amount off, but it is. But anyway, tonight we're going to be getting into this steady rain, steady. It starts light, moderate, and then it could get a little heavy because we have this low pressure system that's literally going to form right over us, this coastal low, it could get a little heavy in the morning before it moves away, and then we could have another round of lighter rain in the afternoon, according to the NAM, and then it moves away. You can see it has a 977 low there, so it's a pretty strong low pressure system that's going to be forming over our area. Now it will be warm, so all the precipitation is going to be in the form of rain. We'll take a look at the NAM as far as the temperatures go, and you will see we're above freezing for the most part all day. There's that warm batch. We're going to get warm sectored for a little bit in the morning, and that's when we could see that heavier rain that occurs. You can see we're going to be into the 50s there. And if we look at the dew points, you'll see also that the dew points will come. It'll be just a little muggy for a couple hours in the morning before that cold front comes through and the wind shift to the west. So just keep that in mind. You could see that warm sector right there. So I would say around between 7, 9 in the morning, we're going to be warm sectored, and then it's just very brief, just for a couple hours, and then thank God, and then it cools off after that. So how much rain are we going to get from this system? Let's see the total rainfall, total accumulated precip. The NAM gives us a good solid inch to an inch and a half of rain, which is likely at this point, given the moisture. It's going to be a soaker for the first part of your Sunday. But the good news is I think the worst of it looks like it's going to be overnight into the morning, and by the afternoon it improves. I want to look at the NAM 3 kilometer as well. It's the higher resolution one. Show you again actually we're going to do this. Yeah, this is good. All right, so here comes the storm. Again, you could see some of these heavier batches around us. Again, and this is the higher resolution NAM. You could see in the morning is when we get to see that heavy rain. East end could get clipped by heavier rain a little later into the afternoon. But the rain should end by 5, 6 o'clock. It should be over, and then moving away. There's that low moving away, but it looks like a pretty deep low, and there could be some wind with it, and that's the other thing that we're going to go. So let's go back to the Weather Service. You will see we have a coastal flood advisory in effect, also gale warning in effect for the offshore waters, and winter weather advisory way upstate. We're not going to talk about that. So we have coastal flood advisory from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Long Island, so it's probably going to be mainly along the south. Anything that's by the water, obviously, you're going to have that. It's not going to be a terrible impact, but it's going to be something. So let's go look at the winds here and see the winds that are going to be generated from the storm. So you could see that wind, mainly the worst part of the wind is over the water. So it's not going to be that windy. It's not going to be a tremendous wind event like what we've seen. It gets a little more intense as it heads away from us, fortunately. So let's look at some of the other models. Let's look at the HRRR model. as well and look at that. So we can look at that and see the timing here. That's the 0Z1, which don't have enough in, so we'll have to use the 23Z1. So this is one of the rapid update models. So this timing on this is a little more realistic, I think. And you can see it's just going to be a soaker overnight into the morning. And it kind of lingers the rain a little more. So it's still raining as of noon here. And there's a good bet the rain could linger into the afternoon, depending on the system. It will end by later in the afternoon, but it's going to be raining. Depending on the model, it's going to be raining a good part of the day, according at least to this model here. So let's go and see how much rainfall this gives us. Total accumulated precip. Yeah, going to be a soaker. This gives us at least an inch of rain. So it's going to be a soaker for the first part of Sunday. That's what it's looking like. The latter part, hopefully, you can get this stuff out of here. At least in terms of that, So let's go look at another model, which is the Euro, and see how the Euro develops our storm. So I just want to look at the wind. I'm using the Euro for the wind here, so you can see some strong winds over here. All right, are we in wind gusts or wind gusts? Right? Yeah, we're in wind gusts. All right, so let's see how strong the winds get from this storm system. So the Euro obviously more intense with the wind gusts. No surprise. Here we are at noon. Let me just get a little, let's go to 5 a.m. here. All right, so it doesn't look too bad, 5 a.m. We get toward noon, though, some of these winds are going to pick up. Looks like mostly behind the front. So you can see this is the low pressure system again. These are wind gusts. No, I didn't mean to do that. It's easy to make that mistake. 39-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so it will be windy when the rain comes down. Behind the front, it's going to be a little windy, 41-mile-an-hour gusts. But the worst part is over the water. So over the water, that's where you're going to see the 50-plus mile-an-hour gusts. But they're going to be confined to over the water. Maybe the east end gets into gusts in the mid-40s. So it will be a little stormy out there, Nothing really unusual, though. So let's take a closer look at the temperature here. So, see, the morning you have that warm air coming in. So this is where it's going to be 51. But then it drops. As you get to 2, we're already colder, I think, yeah. We're already, the western part of Long Island is already getting into the colder air. You can see the circulation here. And then it cools off by the evening. So down to 42. So let's look at the GFS here, and we'll take a look and see, well, when are we going to get some clear skies? By the way, this is the GFS, total accumulated precip. Move this a little more. So again, it gives us about an inch to an inch and a half. It's going to be a soaker for the first part of the day. The question is when it gets out of here. That's the question. So we're gonna go now look and see when are we gonna get some clear skies. So you can see what happens here. Here's the storm here. It moves out, briefly clears out overnight, but then more clouds roll in on us for Monday. And this is just more high clouds again. We're just in the zonal pattern here, so we can't get a good blocking setup going. Tuesday, maybe a little less. Still going to be some clouds around, I think. And then Wednesday, we're socked in with the clouds. That'll be the next storm system. Thursday, Thanksgiving, yeah, we're going to be socked in with clouds. Friday, we try to maybe get rid of them on Saturday, Sunday, and I'm not going to go beyond that. So, yeah, it don't look great with the skies. Well, I'll go look at the NAM, too. Well, you'll see what I mean. Just in a crappy pattern right now. So let's look at the NAM. Maybe the NAM will give us a little more hope. So, obviously, clouds move out. We clear out tomorrow night. But then what happens Monday, you get all these clouds that just move into our area, unfortunately. And maybe in the afternoon we can get rid of them a little bit. Maybe. The NAM's a little more optimistic on that, but and I think most of these are going to be high clouds too, if I'm not mistaken. So let me see. High cloud fraction. Yeah, most of them are going to be high. Yeah. So it's just cirrus level clouds. It's the kind of clouds that really make your sky junky. So, well, we'll have to see what happens with that. Maybe we can get some sun on Monday, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens if we can eke out some blue skies. It would be nice. It would be nice to have some blue skies, wouldn't it? Some clear skies. You know, we had to pay for all those nice days last week, right? So let's go look at the temperatures here, and we'll see where the temperature is going to be going now. Now I've got to put this back to the GFS. So after that after that little brief warm up, we drop down, and then for Monday, we're around average. So upper 40s to around 50, close to average for Monday. Tuesday, we see that warm up again. Here comes the warm air, so we're dealing with mid 50s, and this warm up is going to be ahead of the next cold front. So here we are on Wednesday, mid 50s, so we're above normal Tuesday and Wednesday. Then the cold front comes through, and then we drop down into the upper 30s to around 40, so we're back below normal again. And then even colder on Friday, we get some nice cold air building down, maybe upper 30s. And then Saturday, we have upper 30s. Sunday, even colder still, mid 30s. And then there's a storm right here that we're going to have to watch Sunday into Monday. And this is what we're going to talk about as we head into the long range. Because that could bring in some really cold air. Look at that. Monday, December 2nd, we're only in the 20s, and there may even be some snow with this. So as we head into December, it looks like finally winter comes back, thank God, and we go well below normal again. So there is hope. We just got to get through this week here. So let's take a look at this storm system here. I'm going to put this into this again so you'll be able to see the storm system forming. All right, now this is a week away, all right? So obviously things can change a lot. This is a week away, but here is the storm system. So here it comes. So the cold air is in place, and we could start off as a little snow. This storm, depending on the track of it, it's rain, but look at what happens at the end. Could end as heavy snow. And then really cold temperatures. Man, look at that, 964 millibar low. So that could be, let's see how much snow that gives us. Because that definitely has got to be an accumulating snowfall. Oh yeah, so there's really crazy variations here. Obviously, it only gives Long Island maybe 3 or 4 inches, but look at what happens to the west here. Obviously, this could be quite a storm in western New Jersey, and even Ocean County could be 6 inches of snow, and then cold after that. So it could be a first at least a chance. I say chance that we could see some snow, but again, this is over a week away. And things can change quite a bit between now and then. And again, the storm shows up here is the clouds. Unfortunately, do we clear out after that? No, not really. But we do have snow on the ground at least, and it's colder. Whether we actually get any clear skies or not, just tons of clouds in this forecast, unfortunately. But again, this is over a week away, and things can change a lot. So don't get your hopes up too much for that. Obviously, if we go and we pull this out now, we'll look at the view for the whole. As we look more into the long range, you'll see what happens. So here's that rain soaker, moves away. We get that week high for Wednesday and Tuesday. That's going to bring us partly sunny skies. I don't think we're going to see mostly sunny skies. Here comes the next storm system. All right, this one tracks into the Great Lakes again. And then behind it, colder air starts to build in. And this high, we're starting to see what you call a blocking pattern. So here's the trough. We've got a blocking pattern here. So it's holding the high and the cold air in place so it doesn't just race away. And then this low here forms here, very strong low forms. And look at that. It dives to the south because the jet stream is more to the south. So that keeps the cold air in place and the chance of a snowstorm, perhaps. Obviously, this is over a week away, but December could start off with a real wintry look to it, as we see, and another storm forming there. So we're starting to see the jet stream. We'll look at that now. Let's look at the jet stream. So let's look at that jet stream. You'll see what I mean. So here's the zonal jet stream that we have now. All right, it's kind of crappy, kind of zonal. It's kind of a split flow. Actually, it is a split flow also, but you can see this is the southern jet. Nothing phasing, nothing going on right now. But here comes this big trough that starts out in the west the next week, and then you see. Look at this huge trough. So we get this trough, but we got to deal with this ridge before we get there, and then we got to deal with this. And you can see that the flow is from the northwest here. So we're starting to see this trough. We still got this ridge here, but you start to see the signs of a change. And then we have this big broad trough in the east, and that's what you want. And look at that, we got the phasing going on, got this big broad trough, the cold air is pouring in, and that seems to stick around. So that's what's important. You want to see a jet stream like this, ridge in the west, trough, big broad trough in the east, for the colder air, and more chances for clear skies as chances for snow. Let's look at this in the 500 MB height anomaly too. So this also tells the story. So you can see we just got this kind of zonal pattern right now, going on. But here's this trough that digs into the west, and this trough, if everything works out right, we get this nice big broad trough in the east, and look at that. So there you go. There's your storm. There's your cold air, and possibly some snow. So much more wintry look as we head into December, as we look at the longer range here with the jet stream. Because right now it kind of sucks with this just boring zonal pattern. Just every day is another storm, another rainstorm, and no clear skies, and no really blocking, no cold air to hold it in place. So we'll just look at the dew points here, because the next worry for tropical air is going to be as we deal with Tuesday and into Wednesday. So Tuesday is not too bad. Dew points in the 30s. It doesn't look like we get into that really disgusting air. It stays off to the south, fortunately. So that's important that we keep that air where it belongs, off to the south. And then, boom, here comes the dry air. Look at that. Very strong winds Thursday. Could be very windy on Thanksgiving. Very strong winds here in this, and then look at that. That beautiful air just comes right down for us. So that's what we're gonna have to deal with a little more of this crap pattern. Until then, I'm just curious. Let's see the actual wind speeds here on Thanksgiving. Yeah, we could have some really strong winds, which is a big travel day, so there could be flight delays because of that. That kind of thing. And let me see that cold front. So it doesn't look like we get a whole ton of rain with that cold front. It just goes to the north on the GFS. So we'll go back to the Euro now, and we're going to see how the Euro also handles these temperatures as well. So here's the Euro for Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, the Euro gets us up into the mid-50s, and for the folks in Jersey, could be close to 60. Let's see how if that brings it to tropical air at all. No, it doesn't really bring up the really bad humidity, so that's good. So I don't think we're going to see any really bad humidity the day before Thanksgiving. And then we get the temperatures to drop off nicely on Thanksgiving, Thursday. So it's 41. Now, let's see if this is any more optimistic with the sky conditions. So we'll put this Monday, 9 a.m., and we'll see if the Euro can bring us any clear skies. So this is Monday, 9 a.m. You see some clouds around. Let's see, 1 p.m. It doesn't have a lot of clouds. But I have a feeling there's going to be some cirrus around. Let's see Tuesday. Tuesday still has some cirrus around. It looks kind of funny, doesn't it? But Tuesday, I'm thinking we're going to be dealing with some cirrus, possibly. And then Wednesday, we got obviously this next system approaching us. But I don't think it's going to be a soaker right now. There's no indication that's going to be. What about Thanksgiving? How are we looking Thanksgiving? A lot of clouds around, unfortunately. But hey, maybe it does clear out in the afternoon. So it looks like maybe we can get rid of some of those clouds. What about Black Friday? Black Friday looks clear. Let's see. We start off clear. And maybe we'll be able to hold on to the clear skies for Long Island. Hopefully we can do that. And Saturday, where can the clouds? Let's see now. Let's see the Euro. Let's see how that storm. Let's take a look at this. All right, let's see how it materializes, that storm. This is the Euro. Let's see if the Euro gives us a snowstorm or not. Doesn't really go far enough out. It does not look like it does give us a snowstorm. Alright, so this is Sunday, December 1st on the Euro. If we look at the temperatures, oh yeah, it's much warmer. So the GFS has a much colder look than the Euro. So we do have a disagreement on whether we actually get this snowstorm. And the Euro doesn't even cool us off that much. So if we pull this out, Euro is a little slower with bringing in the cold. Here it is over here. So Euro is a little slower. So we have differences between the models on when we see this change to a colder pattern and a more blockier look. Euro obviously slower. GFS always seems to move things along a little faster. So I'll have to see what happens. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.